It's so cooked. Are we muted though? That's the question.
I think we're back. I can see levels.
Okay. That's very odd. Network issues. Broden's dead. Broden's dead.
not dead.
Broden is asleep now because he is dead now. Broden's not here. He's so upset about losing.
I can see us on YouTube. I think we're okay. I think.
Yeah, tell us in the chat. It says the sound isn't on.
They're saying no sound.
No sound. All right, let me look at it.
No, I think they've got it back now.
Have you?
I think they've said yay sounds.
The audio
we're back.
You're back.
Yeah, we're back. Hello, everyone.
I'd be
live troubleshooting.
I'd be very worried for this stream if I was you, dear audience, because that is like a network error for sure. The NDI. Is it NDI? The NDI is probably overloaded, is what it looked like to me. NDI system, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
You know about
Sure,
this
why
stuff,
not?
Marns.
Yeah.
Yeah, NDI. Sometimes if someone's like copying shit, it's fucked. Like even if someone's copying something on the network, like
There was a
file.
bunch
gonna
of
be
stuff
honest,
that may or may not have been copying in the background. So
Yeah, money doesn't care. We'll
that's
just kill,
okay.
We'll kill the
I
life.
think we're all right.
I don't need to expend energy thinking about this.
100%. Thank you for a few donations. Aaron Quigley becoming a member, and there was one earlier as well. And Brendan Ninnis as well. Thank you very much for becoming members of the channel. You're all legends.
Should we just pretend that Broden isn't sick and that he's just quit the pod after what happened on Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm happy to roll with that for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
How you feeling?
Good. Any questions in the chat before we kick in? I laughed so hard at Broden rage quitting the pod on Sunday. Me too. Except I was sad I didn't get to do my souvas because I had some good ones.
We could do that now.
We should just open up with souvas.
Why not?
Here's the souvas I missed from Sunday.
Yeah, I think people would appreciate that. I think I personally would appreciate that. You know what I could actually do with?
Yeah.
Oh my God, do you think fish souvas are a vibe or not?
I don't like in general, but I don't think they're bad overall.
Okay.
It's a me problem.
Yeah, because the other day I was kind of like, oh, I could do fish and chips. And I was like, fish suva? And I was like, is that gross?
I
Fish
think
and bread. I don't know.
my girlfriend's dad made like a fish sort of suva thing because they've just got back from Greece and take or leave for me.
But also, like,
IMO.
I feel like a Greece fish suva is going to taste very different to a Brunswick East.
Yeah, true. Very valid.
Maybe. I could be wrong.
I mean, like I was like a bit of like a pessimist about fish tacos, and they're really nice.
I love fish tacos. I take back everything I said. You're so correct.
Yeah, so isn't a fish suva just a big version of that?
Yep.
Or it could be.
But thicker bread.
Thicker bread.
Anyway, people don't need to know my thoughts about that. Someone said, how are the Lionesses? Fucking A. Fucking A. Chloe Kelly, all the Arsenal girls. Oh, genuinely. Yeah, and even Spain having a tantrum in all their press conferences, being like, they were so poor throughout the whole tournament, but sometimes the worst team wins. Like, okay. Okay.
All right, Pad, you're standing by. Ready to go. All right, you good, Marns?
Yeah.
Okay, I've prepared an intro in my head. Let's see how it goes. Round 21. Broden has caught the Naziah Wanganeen-Miller flu and will not be appearing on this episode, but don't worry. Tom, Marnie, and Paddy are here to take you through round 21. Bounce that
Pill.
Yeah, it's fucked. That works. But we won't address it. Have to wait a while, maybe. How are you, Marnie Vinyl?
I'm so good. I'm very tired, but everyone's very tired. I think it would have been funnier if you said Broden's caught the Naziah Wanganeen-Miller kicks 2 goals in 30 seconds to beat the Demons flu.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Paddy's here. How are you, Big Pad?
I'm good, Tom. I think that he might have just quit the pod after what happened on Sunday. I felt so
no
terrible.
more Broden.
He left straight away. So I think the story was that he did have an appointment to get to, but geez, he was flat. Poor bugger.
Yeah, he cut off the podcast early. I didn't get to do my souvas of the week, so we thought we'd just open up this episode with me starting off with him.
Hell yeah. Give me your... play some Suva music, please, Paddy. Oh, we do that in post. Okay. All right. We do it in post. I don't know how you do it.
No, I love it. I'll put it in post. So first thing, and this came through as a massive suva, but I know you feel differently, Marnie. Patrick Dangerfield on the bench having a suva. This is why it was sad that we couldn't talk suvas, because for the first time ever, suvas were relevant to the podcast.
know.
So people loved Patrick Dangerfield sitting on the bench, having a souvas because they were 100 points up against North. What did you think, Marnie?
I will caveat this with I think we are so harsh on players and we don't let players do absolutely anything. And anytime they show a shred of personality, we drag them. And I am so far against that that I almost don't want to say my opinion, which is I thought it was disrespectful and I didn't like it. And everyone, I know that I am in the minority with that view. I just think that North Melbourne are really going through it, and that would have been really horrible for their players, but also for their fans. Like, I saw so many North Melbourne fans in my socials just like being like, yeah, it's actually really fucking grim where we are right now. And like going through that was not an enjoyable experience.
No.
And I think that a captain of a club should have a little bit more respect. I get the circumstances and I get that it's funny. And again, like, I'm fine to be in the minority here, but I just think that, like, you know, so you were the president of the PA. You're supposed to have all the players' interests at heart, and you should, even just like for the 18-year-old North Melbourne player on the field who really looks up to you because you are such a gun player and you've been for so long. Like, I personally would hate if my opposition captain was doing that and I was being absolutely rolled by 100 points. I think that is it's also not a one-off game. The whole season has been bad.
Yeah.
And if there's a problem with North Melbourne genuinely, then like, anyway, whatever. I'm fine to be in the minority.
Can we agree that souvas are sick?
Oh my God, absolutely. And also, like, I was working that night.
Yeah.
And as soon as I put that photo, like, so I made a composite of like Paddy on the bench eating a souva with Jeremy Cameron doing the thumbs up to the camera. And as soon as I made that the hero image, our numbers went through the roof.
Exactly.
So, like, you know what? Thanks.
Because people love souvas. And hey, there might have been a young player out there at 18 years old for North going, I want to one day be so good at football that I can beat a team by 100 points and eat a souva on the bench. That's what we can hope for the silver lining.
Yeah. And like, I also want to stress that, like, this is not an actual issue for me. It's completely, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
I get it. I get it. It's
fine.
optics. It's just an optics issue.
It's an optics thing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we drag players for everything. It's fine. In the scheme of things, in the scheme of what players did that round, in the scheme of like the game beforehand, a player kicking another player in the dick, like, it's fine. Like, it's fine.
Absolutely. The next souva I had was Liam Ryan's 6 Specky.
Yeah, like that one. That was cool. I feel like that got
sick
completely missed because West Coast got smacked by so much.
It got completely missed because Broden got upset about the result and ended the podcast early. That's what happened. And then the last one, I thought we could talk about this as well. We went to the Libby Birch book launch last week.
Oh.
And that was a lot of fun. I went along with Marnie and my son, and Hester, a friend of the pod, was there as well. And it was just really great. It's the first ever AFLW book, and it's really important for like representation and stuff. So I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, and I loved that we brought Atlas because there was so much rhetoric that how good that little girls have books now of girls playing footy, but it's really cool to be like, and little boys, like little boys look up to women playing footy too.
Absolutely.
It was very exciting. And just to be in like a room like that where the energy is so high and it's full of W people, it made me actually very optimistic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even like Emma Moore doing the address, again, always been careful about how I word things, but I don't think we have had someone be as active and visible in the AFLW space in that role before. And so for someone to have genuine enthusiasm for AFLW players, and it's cool. Like,
it's so cool.
And,
I was surprised at the media.
Yeah.
Imbued with greatness.
Yeah. And also we went for lunch afterwards and Tom left me with Atlas for like 30 seconds. He comes back and there's chocolate milk all over Atlas's front.
This kid, because I've never given him a hot chocolate, but I've heard that his papu and his mother gives him hot chocolates. So I gave him a hot chocolate. Then he gets the spoon with chocolate, puts it to his mouth, pours it on his top, repeats.
It was very comical.
Oh, I think the stream's still fucked, people are saying. Let's pause.
Yeah, I've just heard that. I think we're back though. That's okay.
Yeah, I think, guys,
in and out.
I think if it's shit, just tune off. We're going to leave it live and I'll cut this for the podcast. But if it's unwatchable, just tune out and listen tomorrow. I'm sorry. I genuinely think it's a network issue. It's nothing we can do. I mean, I could go around the building and stop people from uploading stuff or copying stuff, but I don't think it's worth it. So we're just going to forge on. Apologies if it drops in and out. If it's really shit, then just tune out, I reckon. Because it's hard to monitor while we're also doing the show. So I think we should just...
A person down.
Yeah, and a person down. So I think we should just forge ahead. Yeah, if Broden was here, maybe I'd go for a walk, but, we'll just do it.
Can we give another suva as a way in to talk about something that I didn't feel like got fleshed out well enough?
Absolutely. Is it part of the news or is it...
It's Naziah Wanganeen-Miller.
Oh, wow. What a star.
Yeah.
And but that entire play in that 8 seconds, I have watched that vision so many times because it is it's just so satisfying watching him going to Rowan Marshall and being like, this is what we're going to do. Yeah. And everyone knows exactly what they're going to do. They're not even they're not being subtle about it. So if Melbourne were switched on, they probably could have defended a little bit better. But to even for Naziah to be like, I'm going to run here and you're going to kick it here, and to go against the instinct of it being like there's only 8 seconds left, so you just lob it as far as you can towards goal, but instead we're going to put it here. And then for Melbourne to do jack shit.
I know. And you know what? I have personal experience with this, right? Because I played a game of football on the weekend.
You did?
And do you know Kados? Everyone know Kados? Everyone listening
we love
know Kados. I said to him, if I manage to clunk a mark in the goal square, there's no chance in hell I'm taking that shot on goal because I can't kick the ball. So if I clunk it and I say, Kados, buddy, that means you run around the back like Buddy used to do. I give you the quick handball, you kick the goal. That's exactly what Naz and Rowan Marshall did, right?
It was
crazy.
And also, if I could, I was also very impressed with the umpires because I feel like in the, you see it quite often. I mean, I know that wasn't a high stakes game in that we're talking about Melbourne and St Kilda, but often in high stakes games, if it's that close and there's a minute or a minute and a half, you often see umpires put the whistles away a little bit. Yeah. Which I don't mind. Yeah. I like that. I kind of love that they're going for feel of the game.
Yes. Let them play.
I love that. But that is different from an infringement that's happened. If there is an extra body in a space that is not supposed to have that body, and for them to call that with only 8 seconds, fantastic umpiring, but then also to make sure that the players were back in their positions and restarted in their positions that they were supposed to be in. I was very impressed.
Absolutely.
I think that they controlled that situation very well. But obviously the hero is Naziah Wanganeen-Miller. And the clip of him on Ross Lyon's shoulders at the Brighton Hotel afterwards, I also very much appreciated.
Yeah, apparently they're very upset with that leak. I wouldn't be too upset if I was St Kilda. I don't think it was a pre-planned function. It's not like they went and got on the piss after a win. They were always going to go out for a drink. So I think it's good.
It felt like I remember watching round 1 2017 when Dusty really arrived for Richmond. I think he kicked 3 and had 30 odd against Carlton, and he did a few things where you're watching him play and you're like, this bloke could. At that point, Richmond hadn't won a final in 37 years, so you're like, this person might redefine the football club. This, they hadn't played in a grand final in 37 years, or won a grand final in 37 years. And I felt the same watching Naziah in that last minute where he's just got that ability to go to such a level and put the club on his back and then be able to talk in a post-match interview and say, I told the forwards to get out of the way. I ran the play through me. I'm going to do this. It really did feel quite formative for the Saints.
So formative.
Exciting.
Can I also say something else that I think is so comical? So, Tom, you've been quite busy, as you always are. Mm-hmm. And I would say that your AFL media diet sometimes can be limited.
Absolutely.
It is so funny for you to come on mic and say, I was the first person to say something when everyone else has been saying it for weeks.
Yeah, but that's what you do. That's what you do.
I was the first person to say Naziah Wanganeen-Miller is the best player in the league. Everyone was saying he should get the Brownlow if he was in a better team.
Can I, to my defense,
okay.
The only reason I was making a point of it was Broden's reaction to it the week before.
Broden doesn't listen to that much AFL media recently either.
Because I said, I think he's potentially the best player in the league. And he went, what? what? And so that, and I wanted to remind him next week, that guy that you said, what to? Just fucking cut down your team in 2 minutes, mate. That's the only reason I was harping on about it. I'm fully aware that everyone else is aware of how good the guy is.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see. What does happen with his contract. It's one of those rare storylines that he is coming to, like, he's just has got everyone's attention at the same time that he's coming to being out of contract.
Yeah, I really, really hope he stays, and I genuinely think that the AFL can't allow him to go to Adelaide.
Really?
Someone was saying this is the best argument for ambassador money that we've had since the Gold Coast Saints.
Legit.
Yeah.
Like the AFL should give him an extra $500,000 a year to stay at Saints. Absolutely. He can't go to Adelaide. They would be the greatest team ever assembled, mate. He's so good.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
It'll be like an Adelaide Suns grand final for the next 5 years.
Exactly right.
Could you imagine? Freakish.
But I think it is very fascinating just looking at the way that his storyline and the way that Tom De Koning's storylines, when it's both like what's going to happen with their contracts next year, has gone, because it's Naziah is just like, he looks like he's just playing with so much confidence and he's just carrying that team at times, obviously, evidently, where Tom De Koning is less so.
Yeah, he's fully checked out. We should throw to the news officially. What do you reckon?
Sure.
When we come back, I want to read this one from
Is it, what?
It's a strange one.
Tell me, I'm so sorry.
No? It's right. It's all good. Who cares if they can hear? Okay, we're back. And just for the people at home, I know the stream's completely fucked, especially when we throw to a graphic, so apologies. And I will just say quickly that Broden rate, every time you mention Naziah Wanganeen-Miller, I will pull the internet. So, so we know it's you at home, Brody.
That is very funny.
All right, great. Marnie Vinyl, what is the news?
What is the news? I feel like one of the biggest talking points this week has been Toby Green, and we mentioned the clip very briefly at the when I was going through the Dangerfield thing, but Footy Classified did show footage of Green, who was already suspended for one match over a strike on Isaac Heaney, throwing his foot back towards Rampy. I love so much that I have written here catching him in the groin region, because I was so set on not saying kick in the dick, and then I ended up doing it anyway.
You're like, Toby Green kicked a bloke in the dick. Immediately. You know what I was
also,
saying?
Can I just clarify that I am not saying that he did that, because it actually didn't make contact, so I need to be very clear that he did not kick anyone in the groin. Yeah,
we're being facetious here. But I want to throw to Paddy, because Paddy made this great point on Sunday that we didn't bring up because of unforeseen circumstances, that if Toby Green played in an amateur league, he'd be
I saw this
killed, right?
on r/AFL somewhere, that it's 16 weeks that you can get suspended for in local football before you're actually deregistered.
Yeah.
And I think Toby, with this week off, reaches 16 weeks of suspension in the AFL.
So, yeah, basically he's like, it should be deregistered and thrown out of the league, is what Paddy's saying.
No, absolutely not.
What a fascinating just case study I think he is, because when he made All-Australian captain, it was like he's completely turned around and we've done a 180 on him, and now we're back to this storylines where it's just like how much of a dirty player he might be. And I mean, that elbow to Heaney's head was...
I think my read on it is that he's one of those players who pushes the boundaries of niggling and getting into it, and he blurs those lines and he oversteps it, and that's not cool. But he has to get it right.
I want to soapbox for a second on this one, because there's been a lot of chat about suspensions for potential to cause injury, particularly when Tom Lynch swung at Jordan Butts, and everyone was like, no, you can't do that. That's 5 weeks. Doesn't matter if you connect or graze or actually connect, you shouldn't play. And you have a guy with studs on, flicking backwards, not looking at where he's directing that back kick at a player, and he is not suspended for it. that Greg Swan gets on radio and says, no, he won't be citing that. It just doesn't seem to wash for me. But maybe I'm just a Richmond nuffy.
Yeah, it's because the head is protected and the balls aren't, Paddy. So
it's not a lot of fun to...
That's not why, but that he's not being cited. But yes, like 100% agree with you. But the reason is that the MRO didn't pick it up. And I had that vision, I think, been circulated beforehand, then it probably would have been potentially picked up. But I mean, when's the last time the MRO did something in retrospect because there was something in the public sphere?
There was Devon Robertson a couple of weeks ago who I think he whacked, I forget the Carlton VFL player, but I reckon it surfaced on Twitter and then they suspended him for an extra 2 weeks because flatly they'd missed it. I don't blame them for missing it because it's a VFL game and who's really watching every minute of the VFL to try and pick out a suspension. But yeah, I mean, it feels like they did that a couple of weeks ago and then the Lynch thing, so it just doesn't seem to wash for me, but he's missing this week anyway.
No, you're right. Like it absolutely doesn't wash. Yeah. And also with that, did you see that the AFL is looking into a potential breach of the TV rights because Nine showed the behind the goals vision of the Toby Green kick when it is Fox and Seven who had the rights to that game?
So can anyone here, maybe Paddy more so than Marnie, provide some insight into how the fuck this happens? So how did a different channel get footage that belonged to the rights holders? Is that someone literally uploading it to the internet and sending it to someone?
As far as I know, there is access that non-rights holders have to vision that doesn't go to line, so it doesn't appear on a broadcast, but I'm not sure if it includes the entire behind the goals thing. So I would imagine that because there are a lot of people who'd work casual gigs for AFL, for Nine, for Seven, for Fox, the whole thing sort of works out that maybe there's a weak point in there somewhere. I think it's just, to be honest, I think it's good journalism to be able to find that and be able to bring that to your employer and say, hey, I've got something that no one else has and we're not a rights holder. That's pretty impressive. So
no, it 100% is good journalism, but people just send stuff to each other all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's how that happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
it's so funny though.
Yeah.
You know, like it's so funny how much it upset the rights holders, you know? And it's like, if you're sharing stuff around, like, yeah. What else, Marnie? Or do you have more to say on that?
Sorry. I love the energy.
I'm giving you your cake and eating it as well. Giving you your cake and I'm eating it as well.
I actually really appreciated all the Tom Papley and Toby Green content this week. I think they're both very good spirited. Have you seen all of this stuff?
Not post the incidents on the weekend and wondering if, you know, if again, lines had been overstepped by Toby Green.
Well, like totally. And like I'm also very conscious because I mean I have talked before about how I feel about skin folds and I do think that like body image can be there's a lot of AFL men's players in the system and a lot of them are comfortable with their bodies, but I can guarantee you not all of them are. And I have talked about skin folds publicly before and the Daily Mail's slammed me in articles for doing so before. And so obviously like I'm cautious. I also don't think I'm the person to be talking about men's skin folds.
Sure.
But they did like send each other their skin folds. I was like, I'm so sick of saying skin folds. That's another way to say it. And it was very like bantery. And I think that's good for the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, because more people are going to go to like Sydney. I mean, I know that these games already get sold out and that they're already spectacles in their own right, but like more people will go to Sydney GWS and like be watching that on because when stuff like this happens.
Absolutely. Real rivalries are a huge part of growing the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if I liked it, to be frank. I kind of felt that there's a time and a place like in between players for that kind of chat. I don't know how it sits. I don't really have an opinion, but I don't know how it sits with me with being on a broadcast.
I was confused as well, to be honest. In the Discord, we were just discussing it and I was like, is this straight up fat phobic? Like, I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm not saying that I liked him saying that on in the mid game interview. No, obviously I did not like that.
Absolutely.
Obviously I did not like that. I'm just talking about like the fallout and them on their podcast and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you. It's just, it's a funny one because a lot of people in Discord was like, no, I don't think it's fat phobic because they're both fucking ripped and at the peak of their powers. But, you know, maybe it is. It's just an interesting, I'm like Paddy, I just don't know how I feel about it. So this is good to hear that it's definitely banter between two friends then.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
Not that far. Okay.
I definitely wouldn't go that far because I think there was also a little bit of like Papley sticking out for Heaney who got an elbow to his head.
Sure.
One of the things I really didn't like about that mid-game interview was that like you've just got to be a little bit smarter because none of the context was there for us. Like I'm talking about if you are Toby, like none of the context is there for us.
Absolutely.
We don't know what's being said on the field. We don't know any of that stuff. And then you just come out with a comment like that when you've had the game that you've had, like, well, the half that you had, like, come on a little bit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, I agree with you. What else, Marns?
Jack Silvani very well could have played his very last game in the navy blue. Collingwood have formally submitted a contract offer for Carlton's Jack Silvani, who has, and Craig McRae in his presser today has confirmed that they've met and wouldn't be against meeting again. Two sources that spoke to The Age said that the Magpies have offered him a 4-year deal, which is the same tenure Carlton have offered him. So both offers are around 600,000 per season, which means that the decision will likely not be one based off money.
I'd be really interested if either party have promised him a role because I know Carlton were all about halfback with him this year, right? And he played really well.
Yep.
But maybe Collingwood are stacked there, aren't they? Like, well, I guess Noble left, so maybe not.
He probably fits in really nicely because ever since Nathan Murphy retired, they've been kind of looking for the second man next to Darcy Moore that will allow Darcy to freelance a bit. And Silvani's probably the guy. They've got, I think Charlie Dean's playing for them at the moment, but he hasn't really been able to stick a spot in the 23. So, I mean, if he's available and you can get him, I think you get him. It just seems like a massive loss to Carlton because I reckon structurally, like he'd be in their top 6 or 7 most important players. Like when he's not playing, their defence looks so much poorer. So, I mean, a Silvani not playing for Carlton and playing for Collingwood, like far out.
So I like how you really carry this stuff, Paddy, because I couldn't care less if Silvani never played for Carlton again. But
Call Joe.
Paddy has that, that core footy fan thing where he really loves the father-son.
Mate, I'm a nuffy.
He's a nuffy.
Imagine if a Dacos went and played for Carlton.
Well, Dacos is about to go play for Tassie, mate. So
No.
Well, it's, like the example you said earlier, Tom, off mic was like Ablett going up to Gold Coast.
Yeah.
But
and
that
I was like, who cares? It's grouse.
But imagine how you'd feel like if you're a Geelong supporter and Ablett went to Hawthorn instead.
It is different. Yeah. I admit it is different. You're right. Absolutely. The Geelong fans would be very upset.
Speaking about Geelong, how fun is Jeremy Cameron watch? I think it is so unbelievably funny that he's on 69 goals.
Goated.
Nice.
With 4 games to go, that is such a tough I mean, obviously Geelong will play finals.
Yes.
But that is such a tough ask for him to somehow get from 69 to 100. But everyone's now like, can he do it?
I mean, he's got Port this weekend, so we could phone him in for another 10. And
obviously that's become like that off the back of the fact that he had like 11 goals against North Melbourne. Yeah. So he has 11 goals in a game and everyone's like, can he then get to 100 against North Melbourne? But not every opposition is obviously North Melbourne and down the bottom of the ladder. They are playing in the upcoming weeks Essendon, Sydney and Richmond.
Yeah.
My joke there is that those clubs are as bad as
Yeah, they're really bad, Marns. It's a very good job. Very good joke. Sorry for cutting you off early. I think he could probably kick 20 across the next 4 weeks.
And then so he's only got 11 that he has to do in finals.
Yeah, I feel like that's quite possible actually. I thought it was a pipe dream, but now that I think about it.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's possible.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough, yeah. But if anyone can do it, it's him. I've done a full circle where I think I said this on the Monday pod, but I think 2 years ago I kept going on about how he's the best player in the comp, sort of wormed away from it, and then watching him recently, I'm like, nah, he's very much still in that conversation, even though he's a couple of years older and had a few more quiet matches. I still think he's up there.
Oh, he's definitely
definitely up there, right?
He still kicks goals. It's like you have absolutely no right to kick that.
Exactly. So do we know who he's lining up for every week?
Yeah, Port Adelaide.
So who does he play?
Essendon,
Sydney, Richmond.
So again, for
four
Port,
clubs with the season over.
Yeah.
Right?
But I want to know specifically who he lines up against, Patrick.
Okay.
So Port, is it Asava?
It's probably no. I don't know if Asava. Oh, Asava can probably go with him with pace. So probably Sav.
We'll say 10 goals.
Essendon, Lockie,
No,
probably
10
Lockie.
Also, sorry, but like he'd never kicked 10 goals before.
I know, incredible, right?
He'd never got double digits before, and suddenly we're giving him double digits for all of these games.
let me cook, man.
Okay, all right, fine. He's kicking 10.
He's kicking 10 on the Sava next week.
So if we're assuming, by the way, that this is going to take finals and they make top 4, so that's at least 2. He has 6 games, so he's got to kick like 5 points something.
Okay, so he kicks 10 on the Sava next week. Who's he got from Essendon?
He's got Essendon, so probably Lockie Blackiston.
Kicking 20.
He's not bad, no.
I really liked him when
Yes,
we went and saw him.
so do I.
He's going to kick 12, so that's 22 next week.
Sydney Swans round 23, depending if they put any in for surgery, probably Tom McCartney.
Yeah, and I think that's tougher. So he only kicks 3 there, so that's 25. No, 23. Next.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like McCartney's hurt, but I'll chase it up. And then finish out the year, Richmond at the MCG.
So against Vlosten, he kicks 1 or 2. So, yeah, look, he's only going to kick 25, I reckon.
I reckon he kicks a few on Richmond.
You reckon?
Last round before the
Vlosten's
season.
the all
Vlosten won't go to him. It'll be... Nah, because they try and peel off with Nick. I reckon it would be... I think it's probably Nathan Broad's played him pretty well because he's mobile, but if the Richmond midfield, queue in the rack last game of the season and Geelong just get to tune up, he can kick how many he wants, I reckon.
Okay, so he might kick 30 then. We'll say he kicks 8 against Richmond. So 30 plus 69 ends the season on 99. Great. You heard it here first, everybody. What else you got, Mance?
Harley Reid's season has ended 4 weeks early with an ankle injury.
Wait, is Sav out for the year? I just want to check that, sorry.
I saw a lot of people be like, oh, that's really good that he can probably rest away from the limelight. No, he's coming straight into the footy bubble. He's coming straight to Melbourne, and he will be at every Carlton AFLW game to watch Yazzie play.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be in the limelight no matter what he does forever. So you may as
see
well
you at
get used to
Icon
it.
Park.
Yeah, you may as well
Harley.
get used to it, mate. No hiding. Anything else, Mance?
I loved this. This is Triple M posted this, but I do think that he is deserving to talk about, and I don't think we've talked about him at all this year. But Murphy Reid is the only first-year player since they've been keeping these particular stats who's had 20 goals and 30 score assists in a season. I've read that horrifically. Sorry. He's the first player since Cyril Rioli back in 2008 to kick 20 goals and have 30 score assists as a first-year player.
Fucking hell.
That's incredible.
Exactly. And I think you're right. I think the first game he popped up and what did he kick? He kicked a bag in that one game. I think we gave him his flowers then, but otherwise have gone under the radar. But what I will say is that anytime the Rising Star is mentioned, the Freo fans come out in force to go, Reid, you're forgetting about Reid. So I do love that.
Is it going to be Daniel Curtin or Harley Reid or Murphy Reid?
And then there's the third one, isn't there? Who's the third one everyone's talking about?
God.
Second year player. No, that's Curtin. There's someone else. And Levi Ashcroft.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Ashcroft is probably my pick, I would guess, just going off the fact that he's 500,000 in Supercoach now. That's all.
Really?
That's all the insight I've got. Yeah,
I don't know what that means, but that seems like a lot.
Yeah, it means it's been very good. But yeah, I think Curtin's a good choice, but Murphy Reid's been fantastic as well.
Yeah.
It's a cool crop.
You have read my AFLW piece that I did this week. I kept it to 1,600 words. The original draft was very long. It's so unbelievably frustrating as well. People are like, you missed this, you missed that. And I'm like, I couldn't submit a book. Actually,
I mean, you could.
What did you think?
I took a few things out of it. I think the first thing I'll say is just I loved reading it and I put in little ad libs of what I knew you were thinking. I just inserted little Marnie quips into it.
Did you read things in my voice?
I did, and but I loved just a few little things. I won't mention them so you don't have to defend them or get yourself in trouble.
Please, no. Because this was an analysis, so it falls in the opinion and analysis.
Okay.
It does not fall in just factual. Well, it is factual. It is factual. Basically, after the AFLW media strategy session at AFL House, there was a lot in there, and I kind of just wanted to present that to the public, but not also just do PR for the AFL. So I wanted to do analysis on what they were saying.
Yeah.
So obviously that includes my opinion on certain things, but it's just the facts that I've chosen to use to illustrate that.
Exactly, and this was my favourite part. Crowds have dwindled, While this is largely due to opportune time slots and venues, including a compressed fixture last season with Tuesday and Wednesday, etc., etc. That was my favorite thing because I just heard your voice and your comments that you've made very loud and clear on this podcast, which I absolutely agree with. So I love that.
I just feel like it is fact at this point to say that crowds have gone down because
of the shit fucking...
Because of the fixture.
Yeah. And on that, I think the other two major things I took away from the article was one, I'd never given much thought to the consistency of fixture. And I think it's interesting that Essendon fans are used to going every fucking Thursday night now because that's where they play, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times North plays at 3:20 on Sunday. And I can sometimes think of that as a negative. But no, if you're a family person and your weekend is built around the football, then having that consistency is really important. Yep. And I think you said that Melbourne had never played...
Melbourne, last year Melbourne had 7 games in Victoria all at different times.
Yeah, and I do think that's just ridiculous. Just put them, even if it is on a non spotlight sort of time, just make it consistent and see if that helps families get down. Mm-hmm. And then the last thing, and just something I ruminated on because I read your article, Marnie, was just that this idea of do the crowds get the idea that when we put the game in Marvel, 20,000 people came. And then we put the same game in Windy a year later and less people came. So
I'll just give the actual.
Yeah, give the actual facts.
So it was Essendon and Hawthorn inaugural clash. They had over 12,000 and that was played at Docklands.
Yeah.
And then a year later they put that same game at Frankston and they had 3,000... I want to say 700. It was just under 4,000.
Yeah, and obviously Frankston is a big part of that. Not everyone wants to drive down the highway to go to the footy, but it made me think sometimes about this idea of if you're a comedy person and you put on a show at a 200-seater venue, you're just going to sell 200 tickets. Mm-hmm. Whereas sometimes if you take the risk and put it in the 1,500, you might sell 700. And it was just interesting because it's you can very easily cherry pick and say, oh, well, that's because Frankston. But you could go the other way and go, well, maybe if it was at Marvel, maybe you might not have got the 12, but maybe you would have got 11 or something. It's just interesting.
100%.
It made me just tick this other thing of sometimes you just need to go for a home run even if you fall short. It's better than going for a bunt and running to first base. And that is my first baseball analogy on this football podcast.
Very good.
Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean because I agree wholeheartedly. Even just after that inaugural clash, I went to, what's it called, Platform 28 across the road. Mm-hmm. And there was a man that I chatted to at the bar and he was like, I've never gone to an AFLW game before. I've never even thought about going, but it's at Marvel. So we thought, why not? And that was actually really good and we had a really good time. I guarantee he didn't go to Frankston.
Yeah.
We are just losing people to the game by not giving them the opportunity.
Like you say, rituals, right? Especially for an Essendon fan, they're used to marching down to Marvel. They know where to park.
Well, it's accessibility. I can't go to a Frankston game while my car's still buggered.
That's been a long time.
Well, it's just not getting fixed. But I can. But it's even just my friends that aren't big AFLW fans. Every year they're like, "Can you take me to a game this year?" And I'm like, "Yeah, great. Here's the fixture." And they go, "Well, I can't go to any of those games."
Yeah. Legit. And obviously, I'm on World Tour, but I did check the Suns fixture and hoping that at least one of the games in Melbourne I would be able to get to. And I think they're playing 3 or 4 down here. And I'm away for all of them. So that's sad for me personally. But surely it's the same with everyone with weddings and work functions and everything else that goes on. So it's tough.
Yeah, it's a big rhythm thing for me, I think. I love being in the week to week during men's footy season because, Thursday, Friday, you get the weekly build and then you get your local footy as well. But last year it was so hard to keep up with everything, I think, mentally because it was a Tuesday night and a Wednesday night and then that's stopping and now we're in a different part of the season. So, I think that ritual element is so important because people love to plan their weeks and I love to plan, speaking for myself, my week around football being on the weekend. It's a massive part of my life and I want to punctuate my week with going to the footy on a Friday night or on a Saturday night and meeting my friends there. But Friday 4:30, 5 p.m. slots at the Whitten Oval, Doggies versus, I can't remember, I think it was North on a wet day. I don't think anyone's getting to that game who works a typical job. So I'm just excited to have a regular fixture back, Marns, to be frank. Yeah,
and that also kind of feeds into the double header point that I know that is because every time I do a video about AFLW, all the comments are they should play before the men's.
Yeah.
And the majority of clubs actively campaigned. Like, didn't just say, yes, we want this. They actively campaigned with the league to get double headers. Like, most clubs want it. And, like, personally, I'm not a huge fan of the idea of double headers. I think the environments are very different. I've been on record many times that I don't think that that's necessarily the way to go. But most of the clubs wanted them. And the example that the AFL gave as to why they aren't going to do, like, the example that they gave was the Port Adelaide Western Bulldogs doubleheader before the men's final last season. That was a doubleheader that was scheduled last minute, like the week of, and the women played at 4 p.m. on a Friday.
Yeah.
And there was 23,000 that they ticked off as for W, were there for W. And they're like, well, that's only 23% of the MCG utilised. That's not great. So you can't play at Docklands because you can't get 20,000. We've just said that you've got 23,000 for a game that was at 4 p.m. on a Friday that was scheduled last minute. Like, it's just, it feels really unfair.
Yeah, it read to me, not to paraphrase your article, Marns, but it was reading to me like, oh, everyone wanted this, but it's a metric issue for us. Like 23% is not high enough, so nah, even though all users want it.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, oh, that's not really good enough.
No.
I also prefer like the suburban vibe. And we talked about how much people don't want to go to Frankston. You have no idea how fucking fired up I'd be to go down the freeway and watch a game of footy in Frankston. But I also understand that not everyone's
Every
like
week?
that. Yeah, no, not every week,
And
obviously.
also those conditions, like, every time I talk to players, those, like, we've seen vision from when the men have had to play there for VFL being like, it's so windy. Like, plays like you cannot play a good game on that ground.
Absolutely. No, I think it was like, it read like as a bit of a pathetic excuse, to be honest. But, you know, yeah, if all the teams want it, then go for it. Especially if GWS want to do it and you can make it happen, just fucking do it.
Teams work for GWS. And from speaking to clubs, one of the biggest reasons that the AFL have not said, but clubs have told me, is that it's too hard to change the sponsorship from Toyota to NAB on the ground in time. So that's
seems
one
like
of the
a
biggest
pathetic
reasons.
excuse as well, but maybe that's a real thing. But
I feel like they do such an amount of digital sponsorships that are now incorporated through broadcast. Like the Amy Centre Circle, I feel, I hope I'm right on this, but I feel like that's superimposed on the shot rather than painted on, so it looks nicer. So I don't know. To me, that feels a bit of a cop-out, quite frankly. But
yeah, it sounds like all pathetic excuses to me. It sounds like for whatever reason they just don't want to do it. Yeah.
The West Coast Eagles chief executive has said that the club will make a formal request to the AFL for draft assistance. West Coast have just one win this season and have just won 11 of their last 91 AFL matches spanning the last 4 years. Their next match might be their second win of the season because they've got the Demons at Docklands.
Can I be honest here? And people won't like it. I think off form for the last 4 years, yeah, they fucking deserve one for sure. Like, I'm always been up for Suns having one and North having one and stuff. But it doesn't sit well with me that the richest club in the land is getting any handouts. Like, I just feel like you've got it all, guys. You've got the money, you've got the infrastructure, you got the Hungry Jacks. What do you need anything for?
But it's also that, like, it's so competitive. It's like someone has to be good and someone has to be bad every year. And genuinely part of being a good and successful team is not just the team themselves, but it's the structure around them. It's you hear all the time, like, coaches won't stop banging on about their strength and conditioning. We're seeing it at Essendon right now and that can crumble.
Exactly.
That it's the structure and it's list management. List management is such a strong part of success. If you don't know how to list manage correctly, why do you get to do more?
I think the silver lining here is if they do get a priority pick, this is the most compromised draft ever.
Yes.
So it'll be more compromised. So if we can just have a camera on Ross Lyon when it gets announced that West Coast are getting a priority pick, the Saints fans will lose it. I think that is my silver lining.
But I mean, yeah, like St Kilda, even just, I'm not saying Ross is right. I'm not saying he's right, but I'll sympathise with St Kilda fans if they are frustrated.
Well, yeah, if they finish, they might finish like 17th or 15th and get pick, 12 or something.
I feel like Eagles fans might say, like, oh, you know, our captain's leaving in free agency, like they're losing Oscar Allen. But I feel like most of that discussion has been because of his injury history and he wants a certain amount of years. And West Coast, I mean, they're probably within their rights to say this. They're like, no, we're not going to give you, I think, 6 years. We'll give you 4 or 5 or less than that. So I don't think, to be frank, with the way the draft is now and how dominated it is this year by Gold Coast and Brisbane and Sydney Academy members at the top end, and I think Tom McGuan as well will go first round. I don't believe in draft picks as rescuing clubs. Like, how many picks have North had recently in the top 3? And, they haven't really, unfortunately for them, moved in 4 seasons. So, like, you've just got to do clubs don't have infrastructure to do this necessarily, but you look at what Collingwood's done with a lot of second chance players or older players prolong their career. They've brought in a coach who made a prelim in his first season, a premiership in his second. So I don't know.
Well, West Coast do have the infrastructure. That's my point. Like, yeah, if Collingwood can do it, then you're the next one. Build a new swimming pool to get those bodies right.
Well, yeah, it's a really good point. Like the Collingwood, even like when they lost to GWS in round 0, everyone being like, they're too old, they're too slow. And that turned around literally week 1 onwards. But it's because they have managed their players so unbelievably well. And you cannot win a premiership, I don't think, in the current era without managing your players really well.
Yep. But then again, I suppose Collingwood did get, Nick and Josh Dacos as father-sons, Darcy Moore, father-son. That helps.
Absolutely.
I look at the amount of WA talent that's been around the place that they perhaps could have selected. Like, watching Dan Curtin, probably win the Rising Star, and he might get a gong in the All-Australian squad, and he's from WA and he's not playing for the West Coast Eagles. It just feels a little bit like, well, maybe draft better.
Yeah, Broden said...
That might be harsh, but...
No, Broden said a couple of weeks ago they should have split the Harley Reid pick and gone Dan and another player, and they might have been better off, who knows. But yeah, anything else, Marns, on the news?
I had penciled that we could do like a run home to finals, but I think we should maybe wait next week.
Yeah, let's do it next week because we have chatted. It's a long episode and I'm loving it.
Great.
But maybe we should do some tipping. How's the network?
Not great, mate.
Great.
I think everyone can vaguely hear us when we talk through
Oh,
this.
absolutely.
So
they can, yeah.
Hope everyone's doing well as everything just shuts down for a minute. Yeah, this one's full on frozen, Tom.
Okay. Give it a sec.
Yeah.
If not, you could click back to scene as well if you want to. Yeah, just click back to scene. Okay. The stream is broken, but we're just going to move on. All right, tipping. So let's look to Thursday night. We have Western Bulldogs versus the Giants at Marvel Stadium. This is a fucking ripper. Who you going, Marns?
Oh, and because it has so many repercussions on the ladder. I mean, Giants weren't impressive in the first half against Sydney. It's so frustrating because the Giants can either win this by 40 or lose it by 40.
Yeah, it sort of depends
easily.
if they find that extra gear, which is like makes them hard to sort of predict.
I'll go Giants.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Doggies just for the Marvel advantage, just by a slim margin. And yeah, anything could happen. Pad?
Yeah, like Doggies' record against the top 8 teams this year is so bad. I feel like the Giants are a team that they need one good half and then they click into gear for the rest of the year. So I'm going to tip the Giants.
Love it. And then we have on Friday night at 7:40, another fucking awesome game. Adelaide versus Hawthorn at Adelaide Oval. I think 89% of people are tipping Adelaide. I think they'd have to stuff up pretty badly to lose this, even though Hawthorn are ripper. What do you think, Marns?
After Essendon have had such a bad year and then Sydney have also had such a bad year, my dad has politely asked that I don't go for Adelaide in the finals.
So who are you backing?
So I'll back Hawthorn.
Who are you getting on in general?
Hello, Greg.
Or you're not going to back someone?
No, obviously I'll be going for Adelaide.
Yeah, so you're barracking for Adelaide.
100%.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Paddy, who do you think?
Adelaide.
Great. Saturday, 1:20. Now, this is a skippable game. Melbourne versus West Coast at 1:20 at Marvel. I don't even think many Melbourne fans will go to this.
How many people will genuinely go to this game?
Nah, like if it was at the MCG, your 20,000 standard Melbourne supporters would come, but at Marvel, 5,000.
Less than went to Port Adelaide Western Bulldogs in the AFLW last year.
Yeah, I reckon. I genuinely feel like 8,000 or 9,000 will show up to this, but Melbourne will get it done.
Broden will be there. If he's better, jeez.
I don't know.
West Coast.
West Coast?
Because that would be so funny for the podcast.
It would be. Pad?
Melbourne.
It's funny how much Melbourne were actually really good until until the last quarter, until they phoned out. Anyway, here's another dead rubber, 4:10 at People's First Stadium. We've got Gold Coast versus Richmond, but a bit of excitement because Richmond did manage to absolutely demolish Gold Coast earlier this year at Marvel. So a chance for Gold Coast to seek some revenge, perhaps. I've got them winning by 50. You, Marns?
Ooh, I'll have them winning by 47.
Paddy?
Gold Coast by quite a bit. I'm just going to be watching Taj Houghton again.
Yeah, it's still a danger game for Suns. Like, clearly they thought they'd thrown it in last time against Richmond, but they must show up against Dimmer, I reckon, Richmond. Next, 4:15 at the SCG. Now, this is the Pride game, is it not, Marns?
Yes.
Yeah, Sydney versus Essendon. I'm barracking for Sydney in this one, surely to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, great.
Enthusiastic Marty.
Give us nothing.
I was so excited about this game like a month ago. When the fixture came out, I was making TikToks. I was so excited. Yeah, I'll be there. I'm flying to Sydney for this game. And to be honest, like I'm going with Hester and I'm so excited to spend a day with Hester. We're meeting my parents. I'm so excited to spend the weekend with my parents. But I cannot believe that I'm missing Collingwood Brisbane. And if I wasn't at Collingwood Brisbane, the netball grand final.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
No, you're not an idiot.
And the Vixens are in the granny as well. Oh, anyway, instead I'll be watching Essendon lose to Sydney.
I should just say quickly, I didn't realise, but Broden always does this for me. I've just ghosted him this time, but he's tipping in the chat too. So I'll read out his. He's got Giants. He's got Adelaide. Brody has Melbourne. Interesting. He has Gold Coast. He has Sydney. Who do you have on this one, Pat?
Sydney to have a big win and Marnie still to have a good night.
Yeah, I think you'll have a ripper time anyway.
I'm half tempted to wear my Errol Goulden jumper with my Essendon scarf.
Are you flying back on Saturday night or are you out in the sauce?
Yeah, I'm, me, mum and dad and Esther going out. No. I'm working Sunday, so it's an early flight back.
Shame. Next at 7:30. Now this is a ripper game. This could be a grand final preview. It's Collingwood versus Brisbane at the MCG. In fact, it's a grand final replay. Fantastic. I think that Brisbane will get it done. I think Collingwood are just a little bit off. I just think they're a little bit off, and it won't cost them in finals. They'll work it out, but I just think they're a little bit off. What do you think,
they're
Marnie?
managing players correctly to have a good run when they need to.
Exactly.
I'm going Collingwood.
Paddy?
I'm going to be at this game, I think, with a friend. Collingwood.
Broden has not bothered to tip this game in the chat, so we'll move on to 1:40 on Sunday. This is a fun game. This is the sort of game that I like to watch. St Kilda versus North Melbourne at 1:40 at Marvel. Ooh. I think that after last week, Saints ride that momentum into this game and get it done. What do you think?
Have they treated that game like a grand final win and they are done?
They could be. I mean, North can always surprise. They're not a bad team, I don't think. They're bad. They are really bad. They have good players. They are capable of good wins.
What a confusing couple of sentences back to back.
Yeah, they're bad, but they have potential.
Okay, all right.
Well, they might get Nick Larkey back and they might get George Wardlaw back, who's been playing some twos footy. St Kilda win.
St Kilda win.
Yeah, I would love it for North if they won, but I don't see it. We'll go St Kilda. Also, Broden tipped Lions and he's going Saints.
Fantastic. Next game, 3:15 GMHBA. This is another ripper game. Geelong versus Port Adelaide. What a game. I think let's not even tip the game. Let's just tip how much Jeremy Cameron's going to kick. I've already said he kicks 10 on Naziah.
He's not kicking 10.
I checked Naziah's out for the year with a hamstring.
Great.
So sorry, everyone.
So who's he playing on then, Pad?
I think it would be, I hope he's not injured, Brandon Zirk-Thatcher, I reckon.
Oh, really?
He's pretty mobile.
Who's the other guy?
Alir.
No, starting with F in the background, in the back line.
You got me thinking of Francis Evans, but he's at Carlton.
I don't know who, but yeah.
Logan Evans. Oh, God. Kane Farrell, but he's a halfback.
That's who I was thinking. Maybe Farrell runs with him. But yeah, he kicks 10 either way. Marnie, how many does he kick?
Not kicking 10.
How many does he kick?
3.
Paddy, how many does he kick?
47.
47 goals.
No, he'll kick 5 goals, 3.
5 goals, 3. Interesting. And the last game, 5-10. So I guess we'll be podcasting late this Sunday. It is Freo versus Carlton. I won't run the risk of podcasting earlier again and having an upset win because it is Freo versus Carlton. Did I say that? I might have already said that. I think Freo will get it done. What do you think, Barney?
Yeah, but it's such an important game. It's so important for Freo.
Mm.
Carlton already out. I reckon Flake Mantle comes
Oh,
back.
yeah. I mean, they don't deal with pressure well.
They don't.
Is Poppy Penny listening?
Yeah, she would be, yeah.
Don't want to be you at work tomorrow, Marnie. Fremantle to win and everyone to talk about Hayden Young in the week that follows.
Oh, he's fantastic.
He came back from, I think he had I want to say 10-week hamstring. And then he was the sub. And then his first start, I think he was best on ground in the showdown.
Yeah, he played 3 quarters
The
and best on
derby.
ground.
The derby.
He's so important to them. Can I say one thing really quickly? An interesting observation. Brisbane is the only away team I've picked.
Broden has tipped Port Adelaide
Great. Fantastic.
to beat
Broden.
Geelong. How many
Interesting.
goals for Jeremy Cameron, Broden? He's in our live YouTube
Yeah,
chat.
that's what we need. That's what we're really tipping here. All right. Well, that's our week of tipping.
Vossi's 200th.
Oh, wow.
Well, they're not showing up for that. I take
haven't
it
showed
back.
up for-
Fremantle win.
Haven't showed up for anyone all year, Carlton. Very, very whistless. All right. That's been a great week. Any final thoughts from you, Marnie? Any final thoughts from you, Pad?
BTP.
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope Broden feels better. He should be back with us on Sunday unless something goes disastrously wrong. That's all. Have a great week. Enjoy the footy and bounce that pill. Great.
Is that all right?
That was fantastic. You were a star.
Was it?
Yeah. I got a little bit muddled.
No, you did
You
great.
did.
You know, when you have the
Fantastic job.
adrenaline going and
You
you're
were fantastic.
trying to steer the boat, you get a
Yeah.
bit muddled, you
Yeah.
know?
Thanks for everyone for being so nice in the comments, by the way.
Everyone's
Lovely.
always nice in the comments. Sorry
Excellent.
the stream was fucked.
No, yeah. I've just been told that I said Derby or Derby wrong. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
never can tell.
I've been to WA once and it rained the whole time.
Broden says he's got a fever of 400 degrees.
Oh my
That
God.
sounds very hot, Broden.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's why I tipped Port Adelaide. Okay.
Yeah. Any questions in the chat? We'll stick around for 5 minutes. I'll give you a tight 5.
Hell yeah.
Tom, you weren't muddled. I was.
If you have any questions,
Can I
let
also
us
say
know.
thank you to the nice people on the AFL Reddit because I picked up my phone halfway through and saw that someone posted the bit where I started commentating the finish to the Saints D's game.
Fantastic. You're a
And
star.
got Angus Hasty mixed up with McLennan because I'm an idiot.
That happens.
But that's okay.
Paddy got muddled when we threw him in.
Yeah. And then I said Nas was a left footer.
That happens as well. Someone donated 10 during the stream. Do you remember who it was, Pad?
I will find it.
Okay,
Sorry,
thank
everyone.
you, Paddy. No, you're a star, mate. Don't you apologise for anything. Paddy, can we get a footy with friends with you? That's a good idea. Easy to organise too.
I'm not that interesting.
I didn't get my June episode this year and I'm very upset about it.
Did we not do
Sorry,
it?
Oh,
that was
Zach-
not to make
yeah.
it. We should absolutely do Paddy, by the way. Sorry.
No, but
I
did
was
we
just-
not do a footy with Marns this year?
No, my anniversary went.
I actually thought we had done one.
No.
That's our...
Big Sue.
No, because it comes up on my. And I was like, oh, it's 2 years.
Yeah, right. Because we did
Oh.
the Broden one, didn't we? Where you did Broden.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of. That's interesting. That'd also be easy to organise.
Well,
Because you're here all the time.
Yeah.
It's not too late now.
Yep.
We can
My
have
ego's
you,
hurt.
have you during finals, you know?
Big Silv to Zach, who gave out some gift subs. I don't know how these work, Tom, so you might have to update me in my brain. But,
Well, I think you just said you give 1, 5 or 10, and I think they gave 10, did they
yeah,
not?
that's huge.
That's very, very
Thank
kind
you,
of
Zach.
Thank you, Zach. And anyone who got some cool new emotes or badges,
Yeah.
spam them in the chat. You can put Marnie's head in the chat.
Oh
like
my
I
God,
just
yeah.
did.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that you could do that.
Yeah, when you're a member, you get to do fun stuff like this. The footy. And you can do Essendon.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
someone
spam
said
all of them.
Essendon should trade up to get Willem Dersma. I want Willem Dersma so badly. I really want Willem Dersma to go to Essendon.
Oh, Durs, yeah. I like that.
Why is that?
I want
He's
Dersma
really
at
good.
Richmond.
No,
I
you can't.
really do.
No, but I said
Sorry.
I wanted him first.
Nah.
No.
Our pick's higher than yours.
No, but I said I wanted him
'cause
first.
I play for the team now.
Did you just draft Xavier? Or did he get
No,
traded? to
remember
us?
he was Port Adelaide.
Port Adelaide, that's right. And I thought, that's right. At first, I thought he was going to be better than Butters and Rosie. And how wrong was I?
Oh, yeah, embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh, egg
I
on
really
your
thought
face.
he was the one.
He's
you know?
he's underrated good, Xavier Dersma. Like he's properly tough for a very slight wingman. Or, it was
Yeah,
the one where he
I
went back with the
know.
flight against a ruck and he got a knee in the ribs and he just had to go and he made the decision. And then there was the manual shoulder relocation.
Oh, God.
Very
honestly.
tough.
And literally, it's so funny because I talk about this with other women journos all the time, but the bar for us is so low for AFL men's players being courteous or respectful, that Xavier Desma is such a lovely man who answered questions like he actually tried to give stuff. He was super polite that now I will defend him so hard. I will defend him so hard. I will defend Cam McKenzie very, very hard. Frenchie. And that's it.
100%. I totally feel you. Bailey Humphrey followed me on Instagram for like 3 months and I was like so complimentary of him on the pod.
I'm so sad about this.
And now he's unfollowed us. He's out.
Exactly right.
Someone was asking, Tom, how you went in Div 12 Resis. We
mate.
spoke about it a fair bit. There's a whole YouTube video you can look at.
Yeah,
but
just go watch Mondays because I said my piece. I felt like guilty afterwards making it all about me, but I thought it was an interesting.
Is it a one and done?
I genuinely want to play again, but I haven't heard from Checkers. I don't think he listens to the pod. So
He's a busy man.
He's a busy guy. So I haven't been invited to play again. But also I think they need to win this weekend to lock in a top 4 spot.
Well, you wouldn't have qualified for finals as well, Tom. I don't think I haven't played enough games.
So I am looking towards next year.
stuff.
I'm going to lose so much weight and come back really strong next year. That's my aim.
I'm debating playing. I've got a lot of, like, my favourite footy club in the whole world is the West Brunswick Amateur Football Club.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
debating, because I've got a few mates there who play in their women's team, and so I'm debating having a run around playing some thirds, but my back's too bad to do it. I'll break
100%.
in
I tried to
25 minutes.
I tried to get a friend of the pod, Lou B.
Lou B.
To play for them,
Luby.
didn't I?
You have to say it like Luby.
Luby. Tried to get Luby to play for them. I think it was them.
Yeah, Lucy, you should play for West Brunswick.
For the benefit of my dad, who's probably watching, Lucy's getting around in a season 4 Rick Grimes murder jacket at the moment, and it's just good Walking Dead fare. Very strong.
Yeah, I hated The Walking Dead. Too violent for me.
Maple Dogs is here. He's a Twitter friend of mine.
Thanks, Maple Dogs.
He's cool.
All right, let's get out of there, guys. Paige, do you know how to end the stream?
Let's find out.
You go to the button that says end and then click
Everybody
end
wave
stream.
goodbye.
Bye. Thank you so
Bye.
much for spending your